What is your plan? Nigerians ask key questions as politicians pick nomination and expression of interest forms for top national and state positions. President Buhari commended for his directive to ministers and other appointees with political ambitions to hand in their resignation on or before Monday, the 16th of May, 2022. Also on Political Update today, the concept of zoning, practical, progressive or parochial. We have these and more on the program. I am Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed confidence in the ability of a significant number of the Federal Executive Council members to aspire to higher positions, including the presidency, saying they have been sufficiently equipped. This was at the valedictory session for those leaving the cabinet to pursue their political ambitions. 10 members of the Federal Executive Council have indicated their desire to seek elective positions, including presidential, governorship and National Assembly seats in 2023. 9 of them attended the farewell audience with the president.
No doubt that if the next president emerges from among former members of this cabinet, like any other aspirant, ample competence and outstanding service delivery would be on display. This will be part of our legacies to Nigerians. Let me acknowledge that prior to some of you joining the cabinet, you had made your marks in other areas as governors, legislators, entrepreneurs, and co-professionals in different fields, etc. The experience and expertise you brought on board have significantly resulted in enormous development in various sectors and the accomplishments of our programs. These include infrastructure, agriculture, health systems, financial management, administration of justice, building social safety net systems, etc. For members of the cabinet that are remaining on board, I wish to remind you that the journey to the finish line is very far, and this calls for more diligence, resilience, and commitment to serve Nigerians better.
National Chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Dan Nwayawu, has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for directing all political appointees interested in contesting any elective position in 2023 to resign on or before Monday, the 16th of May.
We call this conference to thank Mr. President for heeding to our call. We are happy about it. Nigerians are very happy about it. Go to the internet, go on the streets, get to the markets. They say, kudos to Mr. President.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says he is qualified to vie for the office of president, as the experience he has garnered over the years will be put to good use. He was at the palace of the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti on a courtesy call on the monarch.
On arrival, the Vice President had a private meeting with royal fathers from across the 16 local government areas of the state. In his message, the presidential aspirant said he is in Ekiti State to intimate the royal fathers of his intention to contest the post of president in the forthcoming election and seek their royal blessings to actualize his aspiration.
My aspiration to the president of the Republic of Nigeria is one that is informed by, first, a challenge that God has given me the opportunity to offer to this country for the past 10 years.
The Ewi of Ado-Ekiti, Oba Aladesami Adejugbe, The third commended the Vice President, who he described as an erudite scholar and political strategist that proved his onions while acting as president, and prayed for his success at the polls.
We all agree that immediately for the Vice President, the position is for France, Apollo water, take the grace of God.
Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo later met with delegates of All Progressive Congress, APC, behind closed doors.
As the race to the Asura presidential villa hots up on many political platforms, many more Nigerians at home and abroad continue to indicate interest in the helmsman's job. One of such is a retired United States Army Colonel Wisdom Osemede of the All Progressives Congress. He joins us now. Colonel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let us meet you. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Colonel Wisdom Mamadou Osagede Ogbenwekon Osemede, United States Army retired. I came through the U.S. military through the ROTC system, just the same way that General Colin Powell came into the military in the United States. It's the same way I came in. So we are all product of the ROTC system.
By ROTC, you mean?
Yeah, the ROTC.
Can you explain what that means?
The ROTC is a Reserve Officer Training Corps, which most universities, they have it. So when they say Reserve Officer Training Corps, it doesn't mean it's a reserve military academy, no. But you go through that. If you don't go to West Point, then you can go through the ROTC. When you graduate from the ROTC after your training, then you get commissioned, then you continue your active service.
So tell us a bit about the active service, spanning how many years?
I have 4 years as ROTC cadet, then 26 years as a commissioned officer. So altogether, it's about 30 years with the military. So when I got commissioned as a chemical defense officer. Then later, a chemical defense officer is to fight a chemical war, to prevent a chemical war, to save soldiers in the battlefield. You know, if in the case they're being used any chemical or radiological or biological agent against those soldiers, is to prevent the soldiers not to die from those agents. Then later I became a SAB officer. A SAB officer is the psychological operation whereby you talk to the enemies without firing a weapon. You don't fire no weapon. I can talk to the enemies. I can speak with them. Without firing a weapon, the enemy won't fire a weapon, they will surrender. So that's the job of a psychological operation. Then later I became a civil affairs. A civil affairs conduct a lot of humanitarian assistance all over the world. Work with different United States ambassadors, you know, all over the world. Provide food, build clinics, hospital, construction of roads, and provide jobs, you know, to most countries in the world.
All right, you're vying for the number one position in the nation. Of course, for a long time, you've been, you know, outside the shores of the country. What are you bringing to the table?
You know, I feel that I'm the best qualified for this position because of my experience all over the years. Now you can see that the country is facing a security problem. I have solution to the security problem. I can solve the security problem with an ease. You know, for me to solve the security problem of Nigeria is a piece of cake for me. And if given the opportunity or given the position whereby I can be able to help Nigerians to solve the security problems, I would like to restructure the security apparatus, starting from the military to the least Nigerian. So I have those experience.
All right, we'll still come back, you know, to other parts of that. But in terms of the concept of development, are you thinking of different sectors of, you know, the strata of society, and perhaps you've strategized and you have perhaps a paper on how you could also, in a way, revitalize, society generally in terms of the input you are bringing, especially based on your experiences across the world?
Based on my experience across the world on security, what I would like to say here is, as I heard so many people talking about security in the country, I listen to them. You see, when you want to put the security in this country, in a very good perspective or in a track, in a good track, you have to start from the border. You have to start from the border. That's where you start from. You see, you have to man the border very well. You have to use a lot of technologies in the border. I remember when I was serving in U.S. African Command, the National Security Advisor there, General Dasuki, came to us. I advised them the same thing. I told them. He came to us with some generals, and I told them, I said, look, you have to take care of your border. That's the number one thing. You see, you don't start from the middle. You start from the outside. You take care of the border. You man the border. You produce a lot of technology in the border. So that that can. I told them what they have to do at the border. I remember I was also interviewed by Vanguard. They can go make a reference to my Vanguard interview. I think that was 2013 Vanguard interview. So I have the technology. No, I'm sorry. I have access to the technology to make this country to be free from terrorists or to be free from the bandits and all. I have access to the technology.
All right, we'll come back to other aspects of, what you've spoken about in the course of the program. Let's take a few stories. The All Progressives Congress is still receiving aspirants to different positions in the 2023 election, with incumbents and challengers meeting around the wide doors of the National Conference Center. Sally Ugwanara has an update.
It is the prolonged critical pre-election activities by the governing All Progressives Congress. Beyond the earlier 11 days for the exercise, it is more than 2 weeks now. An aspirant still show up at the International Conference Center to pick up and submit the party's forms.
I don't see any challenges. I don't have any fears. I believe that power belongs to God, and He alone gives power. And if God has designed and destined that Ahmed Sani Elima Bakura is the next president, inshallah, I will be, and so it be.
There are aspirations everywhere, and there's so many eminently qualified people, right? But in the spirit of equity, fairness, that we'll have in our country, right? I think it's just morally fair that it goes, to that path.
We are working to ensure that the candidate for gubernatorial and other elections will emerge in a manner that is accepted, that is agreed to by the rules of the party and the Electoral Act.
Although there is no official number of those that picked the forms so far, members are desirous that prospective candidates will emerge through primary elections that will follow the party's guidelines.
We have a saying in Gombe. I will say it in Hausa. We say, Koya ko gobe ko yanzu. It's either today, tomorrow, or now. We are ready for the elections. No shaking.
We have analyzed all, and we are bringing all to the table in the interest of our communities, in the interest of our government, in the interest of Nigeria. We shall make Nigeria great. We shall make Nigeria State great.
Screening of aspirants is scheduled to hold on the 14th of May, 2022.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has thrown its 2023 presidential election contest to all zones, contest to all zones. This decision was taken at its 96th National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf was there and now reports.
17 presidential aspirants purchased the expression of interest and nomination forms to contest the 2023 presidential election on the platform of the PDP. 2 failed to pass through the party's screening process, therefore disqualified, and now 15 in the race. The hope of most of them was, however, in the air due to the controversy surrounding whether or not the party would zone its presidential ticket to a particular part of the country. This 96th neck of the PDP has now cleared the air on PDP zoning, aligning with the recommendations of the Governor Samuel Otom Zoning Committee's report.
That the presidential election should now be left open. The party should also work towards consensus of candidates where possible. NEC noted the recommendation of the zoning committee that in the interest of justice and fair play, the party should take decisions on zoning timeously so as to prevent complications in the process in the future.
Earlier, the PDP National Chairman Yocha Ayu, the party's Governors Forum Chairman Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, and other stakeholders restated the party's resolve towards returning to its former winning ways.
We will definitely do very well in the forthcoming elections.
We are with you all the way to victory and to success.
The next major task before the PDP is conduct of its primary elections, with former President of the Senate, David Mark, appointed to chair the National Convention Organizing Committee for the election. The 17-point communique at the end of NEC promised a fair primary election to all aspirants.
Member representing Kwano Umaya North Umaya South Federal Constituency, Sam Onuigbo, declared his intention to run for the seat of Senate for the Abia Central Senatorial District.
Representative Sam Onuigbo, who is a two-time member of the Federal House of Representatives, made it clear that he has all it takes to bring about the needed quality and effective representation of the Abia Central Senatorial District, which he said has been eluding the people of the area over the years. He also used the opportunity to showcase his achievements as a member of the Green Chamber and assured of replicating same if he is elected a senator.
My great people of Abia Central, 2023 presents us with the most viable time in our lifetimes to begin the process of all-round development and growth, anchored on visionary leadership and representation. We cannot afford to make mistakes, as doing so will set us back decades and harmfully impact our children and children's children. In all modesty, I am the best candidate for this job.
Earlier in the week, Honorable Onuigbo was in our studio to share his thoughts on politics in his state. Welcome to the guest segment of Political Updates, and today we have the member representing Ikwano, Umuahia North, Umuahia South Federal Constituency of Abia State. Is Honorable Sam Onuigbo. Honorable Onuigbo has just picked a ticket to vie for the, he's just picked the form to vie for the senatorial position of his district, that is Abia Central. And we want to say a few words to him. Of course, he is the sponsor of the Climate Change Act as well. Honorable Onuigbo, let's not beat about the bush. Sure. Do you think your stewardship has been able to convince your people to say yes to this aspiration?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it, because I have verifiable accomplishments on ground. In fact, they're the ones that have encouraged me to run for this office. Why? When I consulted to go and represent them in 2014 and all that, I used the acronym of EAR to campaign, and which stands for effectiveness, accessibility, and responsiveness. And I've been able to demonstrate that to an appreciable level. And they have seen that I have responded to their legitimate needs and aspirations according to resources, contacts, and opportunities available to me. They have viewed that. They've seen other representatives before me, and they're convinced, and that's why they have encouraged me to bid for this position.
Have you consulted widely within the district, of course, because, you just represented Ikwano, you're just representing Kwano, Umuahia North and South at this time, just a small part of Abia Central. It's just a part of Abia Central. Now, to convince the other part of that senatorial district that you are the man for this job, especially knowing that at least that your party is the minority in that state.
Well, just try and be fair to us. Ikwano, Umuahia North and South It's not a small, it's a significant part of Abia Central. And of course, it's
I
the
stand
state.
corrected.
Okay, and it's also the state capital. So, by His special grace, my accomplishments have reflected, resonated across those other local governments. And they're very happy and they're very, very expectant of seeing me, bring about these pieces of achievements in their own local governments. And I think this is what is behind their encouraging me.
All right, Honorable Nugbo there, and so many people picking forms left, right, and center, and other platforms and other parties, of course, will be bringing that to you as we get the updates from our reporters on the field. We still have Colonel Osewen there right here, a retired Colonel of the United States, beyond military. As time is going, runs fast away from us on the program, we want you to round up with other programs you have for other segments of society.
Okay, first of all, let me lay my vision here for the country. My vision for the country is to make Nigeria a superpower, one of the superpower of the world, and that is my end goal. I can accomplish this goal. I know what it takes to accomplish this goal. That is one. For the women, I can say this to all the women all over this country, this great nation, that when I become the president, they have somebody that will take them along. I came from a school of thought whereby we don't leave nobody behind. We take everybody along with us. So I will take all the women along. And I say to those women, the women and the old men who have been displaced by Boko Haram and everything in the north, they should not worry. When I come, I will make them happy and I will take all of them along. Women will make 50% of my administration, 50% of my appointment will be the women, 50%. And I will provide incentive for those women who are not qualified to get appointment. For the youth, I will encourage incentive. I will encourage incentive for the youth. I will take the youth along with me. So.
All right, so we wish you the best, and of course we'll still probably bring you, especially when we see that you've scaled, and also all the protocols of course in your party, what you need to do, of course, to get to the podium, because it's a big cycle from the podium. Of course, you also get to do some nationwide tour to get yourself acquainted.
One thing I have to say again is the issue of the Boko Haram. I can solve that problem for the Boko Haram. I want to let the nation know that I will solve the problem of the Boko Haram. I know what it takes to solve the Boko Haram problem. I will take care of the Boko Haram.
All right, for the past half an hour, we've been speaking with Colonel Osewen there, retired Army Colonel, who wants also to be president on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. And we've also gone around the nation looking at people with different aspirations, and of course commendations also coming to the helmsman for his directive that all political appointees hand in their resignation on or before Monday the 16th of May if they want to be part of the process, or if they want to continue, then that is also covered. That is the program for today. Continue with the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. And it is the political season, so play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.